What's up, everybody? This is JoshyyRed, and today we are checking out a microphone that might actually be one of the smartest purchases for content creators right now. This is the RØDE PodMic USB in white, which is super clean. And this thing is basically built for anybody who wants professional audio without needing an engineering degree to set it up. And before we jump in, quick disclosure, as an Amazon associate at I earn from qualifying purchases. So if you like and use the links below, I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Now, let me explain why this mic caught my attention, because there are a lot of microphones out there right now. Every company says their mic is studio quality, broadcast ready, game changing. Meanwhile, you plug it in and suddenly your voice sounds like you live streaming from inside a washing machine. But the PodMic USB actually does a lot right. First off, you can see this thing looks pretty clean. The white version especially looks incredible on camera. It has that modern setup aesthetic that works really well if you've got a white desk, RGB lighting, or a minimal workspace. Some microphones look super old school, radio station. This one actually feels modern without looking cheap. And honestly, that matters more than people think. If you're filming YouTube videos, streaming, podcasting, your microphone becomes part of your set. It's basically on camera the whole time. Now, the biggest feature with this mic is actually the dual connectivity. You can use it with USB or XLR. And this is honestly where RØDE has made a really smart decision. Now, you can get an XLR only version, but I have the one that does USB as well. Because basically, creators fall into one of two categories. You either buy a USB mic because it's simple, or you go full XLR setup with an interface and all the extra gear. The PodMic USB basically gives you both options in one microphone. So if you're just starting out, you plug it straight into your computer with USB and you're ready to go. No interface, no complicated setup, no watching a 45-minute tutorial from a guy named Audio Bro Productions explaining gain structure with his lo-fi music in the background. You plug it in, open your software, start recording. That's it. But then later on, if you upgrade your setup, want to get more serious, you could switch over to XLR and keep using the same mic. That's huge because content creation gear gets expensive pretty fast. 1 minute you're buying your microphone, next thing you know, you've somehow convinced yourself that you need acoustic panels, a boom arm, mixer, and a $300 cable for cleaner signal. This mic gives you room to grow without forcing you to replace everything later. Now let's talk about the actual sound quality, because it's obviously the most important part. Now I'm recording this directly into my Canon R6 for the record. This is a dynamic microphone, and if you're unfamiliar with what that means, basically it focuses more on your voice and less on everything else happening around you. And for creators, that's a big deal, especially if you're in an untreated room like this one. If you have kids running around, dogs barking, a loud keyboard, traffic outside, or a PC fan that sounds like a jet engine, like my old PC, dynamic microphones are usually way more forgiving in normal rooms than condenser microphones. And the PodMic USB does a really solid job keeping your voice front and center. This sound has a nice fullness to it without sounding overly processed. Some microphones try too hard to sound radio deep, and it ends up sounding muddy or fake. This mic actually sounds really natural in my tests. Clean highs, nice low end, clear vocal presence. It gives your voice weight without sounding like you're narrating movie trailers. Like most dynamic microphones, this mic likes being relatively close to your mouth. This is not the type of mic you place across the room while leaning back in your chair eating chips during a podcast. You get the best sound when it's positioned properly and somewhat close to you. But honestly, once you dial it in, it sounds really good, especially for YouTube voiceovers, podcasts, live streams, and talking head content, or even just recording music and recording vocals. Another thing I really like is the built-in headphone monitoring that you have at the back. And trust me, this matters, especially if you don't have an interface, because recording audio without monitoring yourself is basically rolling the dice. You think everything sounds fine, and then you listen back later and somehow the entire recording sounds like it was captured through a drive-through speaker. Being able to hear yourself in real time is a massive advantage, especially if you're newer to recording audio. Now, build quality. This thing feels super premium, like genuinely solid. It's not plastic. A lot of the material is metal. It's got weight to it. The mount feels sturdy. Nothing feels flimsy or cheap, and it is heavy. It matches the weight of the Shure SM7B, which, if you know, is a heavy microphone. And honestly, RØDE does a really good job with build quality, but this mic especially feels durable, which is important because creators are rough on gear. You move things around constantly, you adjust boom arms, throw equipment into backpacks, rearrange setups every other week, because apparently we all think moving one light magically improves productivity. But this mic feels like it can actually handle daily use. Now let's talk about real world usage. Who's this microphone actually for? Honestly, it's for a lot of people. If you're a YouTuber, this makes a ton of sense. Good audio instantly makes your content feel more professional. Viewers will forgive average video quality way faster than bad audio quality. Bad audio makes people leave videos immediately. And I think a lot of newer creators underestimate that. You don't need a cinema camera to make good content, but clean audio, that matters. For streamers, this mic is also really strong because it rejects a lot of room noise while still sounding professional on your stream. And visually, again, it looks fantastic in camera setups. Podcasters are probably the obvious audience here too, especially with creators who want a setup that's easy to use, but it still sounds polished. And honestly, even remote workers could benefit from this thing. I've used it on Zoom calls for work, and it might be overkill for Zoom calls, but imagine joining a Monday morning meeting sounding like a professional broadcaster while everybody else sounds like they're calling from inside a microwave. Happens all the time. You get comments on this all the time. That's elite energy right there. So think about that. Now, are there any downsides? The other thing to know about the mic in terms of what it comes with a USB cable, comes packed nicely into the box. And on top of that, you have an additional pop filter here. So you don't need to put a pop filter over the microphone itself. It comes with one, and they actually make these in different colors. So if you want to get a second one and have a blue version or an orange version or a red version, you can pick up some more of these to be able to simply slide directly over the microphone. I have to say, it's really nice to be able to have something like that and not have to have a circular pop filter or something else to be in front of the microphone between me and the mic. Now, are there any downsides? I mean, there usually are a few. And so first, like I mentioned earlier, dynamic microphones work best when positioned correctly. So if you're somebody who constantly moves around while talking, you probably need to pay attention to mic placement. Second thing, this mic won't magically fix terrible room acoustics. If your room echoes like an empty gymnasium, you're still going to hear some room sound. That's just reality though. But compared to a lot of USB microphones, this definitely does a better job controlling unwanted background noise. And third, once you upgrade your audio, there really is no going back. You start noticing bad microphones everywhere. You'll be watching podcasts like, why are they clipping so hard? Why is there so much room echo? Why does this guy sound like he's recording through a toaster? You become that person. So overall, I think the RØDE PodMic USB hits a really sweet spot for creators because it balances simplicity with long-term flexibility. USB for beginners, XLR for future upgrades, solid sound quality, premium build, great design. It looks awesome on camera. It checks a lot of boxes. And honestly, that's what most creators need right now. Gear that works without becoming another headache. I've been there where I have a ton of gear and it is a headache, and I've been on a path to simplifying this over the years. Because between filming, editing, thumbnails, uploads, family life, work, and trying to stay consistent online, the last thing you want is complicated audio gear making life harder. This might keep things simple while still delivering professional results. And that's why I think a lot of creators are going to love it. Again, check the links below for current pricing because these prices always change. And once again, as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. This thing has sat right into my lineup. I have the Shure SM7B and I love that microphone. This is a solid secondary microphone for podcasts or even audio recording, and you can't go wrong with it. And even with a few tweaks, you can actually make it sound just like the SM7B with a little bit more of a bass room. Now, the SM7B has a bit more bass in natural recording, but you can get there with a few EQ tweaks. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, pound that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment letting me know what gear you want me to review next, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.